4K, baby.
Hold on a
So
minute.
fresh, so clean, my man.
Good to go. All right. Thanks,
Good to
Caleb. I
go.
appreciate it.
Des, dude, thank you so much for hanging out with me on the breakdown. Appreciate it very much.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Looking forward to coming down under. I know these shows are almost sold out. So
Yeah,
I think I
dude,
think most of them are sold out or very close.
that's wild, isn't it? And like it's a huge thing at the moment. The new metal resurgence. It's like all the OGs are finding their way back together, or reuniting for tours or to celebrate albums, and people are just fully eating it up, and it's so sick to see.
Thank you. I mean, I don't think it ever went away, right? Like some of the biggest bands in the world are from that era, right? Korn,
Dude, Corn,
Deftones,
yeah,
Disturbed. I mean, let's go down the line, right? And then we're kind of living in a new metal thing right now where like everybody has a gimmick. If you're not a Pope, a pirate, a Viking, I mean, so for me, I see through it, right? And I'm like, hey, this is what's happening, right?
yeah.
Um, I'm excited. Cold Chamber is getting along better than we ever have, firing off on so many cylinders live. I mean, we just had incredible shows in the summertime, and we start rehearsals in 2 days. I've been rehearsing daily for 2 weeks. I've got my own
Wow.
booth and studio here. And our set list is killer. We added in a bunch of stuff we haven't played in a long time, some interlude stuff, a bunch of stuff off of chamber music, some stuff off of Dark Days we haven't played.
Oh,
So we've got
nice.
some surprises up our sleeves.
Hell
You
yeah. It
know,
must be hard as well when you come to Australia. It's not a country that you get to go to all the time. You can't just jump in a van and do an Australian tour every
yeah.
every 3 to 6 months. So is it hard for you guys to work out that set list and say, oh, we know we need to play these songs. We've got to play the locos and the big trucks, but we want to give them something that they might not have seen before,
Yeah.
you know?
I think that, I mean, it's incumbent upon any band to try to do their best with their set list, right? What we do is look at the time that we're allotted and what we can do. I mean, the guys know, guys and girl, they know, like, I don't chatter up there. If you
Yeah.
hear me speaking more than 30 seconds, it's a miracle. So it's like song to song to song. Let's go. Let's get down. Let's make sure when we come off, we're flooded, sweating,
Yeah.
and let's do it right. So no, we're excited. And I haven't been down personally in a very long time. Of course, like I want to say 2016 or 17. I'm not sure. I gotta look. And then the pandemic hit, and then I had a bunch of stuff go down with my family. I had to be here for my wife coming through cancer and stuff. And so now it's time, right? And I like to come back every 2 years. So this is going to
Right.
start a cycle, hopefully for both projects that I have, as well as some other stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm coming down early to hang out with AJ and Joe. They're close personal family friends. I mean, for a very long time, ever since Soundwave. And so, yeah, coming down early and gonna have a good time. The
Yes.
wife's out now getting her nails done,
Hell
doing the
yeah.
doing the woman thing. I'm doing interviews, and then I'm going in my room to jam. I normally jam the set twice a day, so about 2 hours a day, keep my voice strong and hitting. And then I'll go in the gym, work out for hour and a half, and
Wow.
have dinner. And then after dinner, hit the treadmill again and run 6 miles, 5 to 6 miles, and let's go.
Damn. The man runs a tight ship.
I've had to, man. I mean, I know people have heard the story, but COVID almost took me out. So I've got to make sure and keep like optimal performance for myself. Watch what I eat, watch what I do, how much I sleep. Even flying over, I've got to fly over on a bed where I can sleep. I can't just
Oh,
sit up for 15, 18 hours or whatever it is. So
wow. Do you
yeah.
so without that, like looking after yourself the way you do, number one, in the worst term possible, was COVID kind of a blessing in disguise in the sense of how you look after yourself and how you approach your training and towards music. And
I've
like,
always been get up, meditate, do yoga, have a shake, protein shake, hit the gym, start my day. So on tour, my goal is to get to sleep on the bus before the sun comes up. My goal at home is to wake up every morning before the sun comes up, sun salutations, gratitude, watch the sun come up, do my own thing for an hour or so, then get into my office, because I run a management company. I run several companies.
Yeah, right.
Uh, and so I need to be on it by 5:30, 6 a.m. every morning.
So like it's been 27 years, man, since the first album. 27 years. That seems like a lifetime. Now, don't tell me you were this, regimented in your
Oh
approach to life
God.
at that
Oh
stage.
my God. No, no, of course not. Of course not. Was where's the whiskey, basically.
Yeah. Was it, do you
All
remember
of
a
us
point?
were.
Do you remember
Go
a
ahead.
point where that shifted for you at all?
Um,
Because it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride early in the early days.
yeah, no, man, it never really alcohol and all the partying and staying up, so that never really like affected me. What had happened with me is I had just realized that for X amount of years, I'm having a cocktail before stage, a couple afterwards, maybe one on the day off, maybe, and I would never get hammered, fall down, fight, none of that. But I woke up one morning in 2016 and my TM said, "Hey, you were up late last night." And I said, "Yeah, I was. I was in the front lounge listening to music till 4:30 a.m. And yeah, well, I came out there, to go to the bathroom. You're out there by yourself, just hanging." I said, "I was. I enjoy music and late night and having a cocktail, and it's my special time." And he's like, "Well, how long is that going to go?" And I quit drinking that day, actually, in
Oh wow.
2016. I walked off the tour bus that day. I got the date tattooed on my wrist, and I've never looked back. And
Nice.
I've got a lot of my very close friends are sober, and we help keep each other that way, right? And a lot of them are
Yeah.
in the industry. Don't get me wrong, I still love my cannabis, and I'm a very proactive. I mean, I own the High Outlaw, which out here is in multiple shops, 34 dispensaries. You know, I actually own a distribution center out of Palm Springs for cannabis, one of the largest in
Wow.
California. So, that is still plays a part of my life after the day is done and everything is shut off. I know there's no business. That plays a part in my life, but I don't think alcohol should play a part in your life after a certain time, right?
Yeah.
Um, I had one of my mentors, huge guy in business, actually say to me, "Yeah, it just really doesn't look good after age 34, right?" The guy with the bottle of whiskey in his hand backstage. And I'm like, "No, it doesn't." And I went a little longer than that. So we're good. I don't miss my love affair with that fucking beast whatsoever. I sleep better. My relationships are better. And like I said, it never really affected me in the way that it does a lot of people.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. And it
uh,
does take hold. Like you said, it is a beast. And you see
yeah,
it all the time. We've heard all the horror stories. We've seen the horror
yeah,
stories, and it doesn't have to be necessarily in the music industry, but it's one of those things with the music industry because it's such a part of the lifestyle and you're together with all your friends. You go on tour, you haven't seen a band for months or even years. You go overseas and you're catching up with friends and it's so easy to just want to immerse in every aspect of it that you might
yeah.
not realize what's happened.
No, I always say sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? It's much better with just the sex and the rock and roll. that it's much better, much, much better. I wake
It's
up in a better mood, and I mean,
probably a few
I
bands
can
that
come
would
out of
argue that.
when we were on tour with Mudvayne in the summer, I was coming out of the tour bus, early in the morning, putting on a 25-pound weight vest and taking 6 mile runs right before sound check. So
Damn.
it's something that I think clears my head. That learning really significantly how to meditate.
Yeah.
um I follow Sadhguru, and I learned a lot from him over the years. Supposed to go to India and meet with him actually next summer.
Wow.
So I've taken time for myself, and what I've realized is the people around me that are still imbibing in that kind of a thing, you know it's painful to watch sometimes, right? The guy stumble out of his tour bus and fall, or the
Yeah.
backstage fight or whatever. And it's like, bro, you don't need to do this anymore, right? This isn't 1992. So yeah,
The
so
on
so
stage
yeah,
ones. We've seen
yeah,
many bands have these things happen on stage, and
yeah.
it can be the nail in the coffin for so many bands, and it's a shame because
Nail in the coffin. Actually, a song off of Rivals, off of the last Cold Chamber record, Nail in the Coffin. So I think, yeah, and I think it's imperative to just kind of, if you want a long career, get your shit together. right?
Yeah, for sure.
And most certainly, I mean, just to get back to why we're here, most certainly we are ready to come down. I watched videos last night. I was in my studio and I looked out of my booth and saw my wife was sitting there listening to me, and but she was watching on the large screen in my room in there, YouTubes of us in the summertime, and she actually said to me, "Oh my God, I go back, you know, I can watch YouTubes from 1995, 96, 98. Watching you guys now the way that it is like on fucking fire,
Oh,
right?"
dude. Yeah. We
So,
were a country that, because of where we are, distance wise and logistically, we've always been a nightmare for bands to get to. It's not cheap. There's no drive 3 hours to the next show. It's
yeah,
fly 2 hours or drive fucking 8 hours,
yeah,
So, and I think the whole COVID thing, like blessing in disguise for Australians, is that we came so close to losing that. And there's such, like, you can feel it, man. It's palpable when you go to shows. We don't want to fucking go down that road ever again. And
yeah,
it's great, man. People are there for the opening bands. They're there for the support bands. They're there before doors, and they're into it for the whole show. And it's just so
yeah.
great to see, because it reminds me of when I first started coming up, and through the scene, and feeling that for the first time. And man, I'm telling you, be excited, because the
I mean,
crowd's
when
gonna
you
go
when you
nuts.
want to go to a show, man, you go early. You know, you go to see all the bands, and you go to have your beer or whatever, and you go early. You know, and you watch everybody. That's where I found a lot of killer bands. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I myself still go to shows. Obviously, I'm a manager. I still go to shows, and there's opening bands I've never seen, or me and the wife will be taking bets. You know, like, okay, where will they be in a year? You know, and the wife's like, I'm telling you, they're going to be big. I'm like, I'll take that bet. And it's fun. It's fun, and music controls my life, man. I'm not a um media guy, right? Like, I'm not just watching TV or what have you.
Yeah.
If it is an occasional movie or what have you, but I mean, like, last night we were listening to music, her and I've got a vinyl player actually behind me from the 70s, and I got about 400 records. And
Jesus, this I just noticed the moth on your
oh
wall
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Damn, totally unintentional.
Yeah, the Oracle bee actually is because obviously beehive, bee workers. I'm a Freemason
Yeah.
as well, so that plays into it. But that's our symbol for our management company, and
Very cool.
our slogan is actually "We don't sleep," right? Because most managers are in the office at 10, 11 a.m., and I'm in the office at 5 a.m. Most guys are
Yeah.
out at 5 p.m. I'm into 11. Like, let's go, right? Um, it actually drives my wife crazy. I can only sleep about 5 hours a night. It used to drive my mom insane.
Oh,
Come
really?
downstairs and I'm walking around the house at fucking 6 years old. It's like, I'm done sleeping. So yeah, that's the Oracle bee right there. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're excited, man. We've launched meet and greets as well, to give back to a very notable cancer for kids, actually, to send them to camp,
Oh, dude,
which
that's
is
great.
incredible. I said, if we're going to launch meet and greets, let's do something where we give back to where we're coming from. And then my wife, of course, in the last 4 years, people only know about the first cancer we went through, but she actually just came out 3 weeks ago, cancer free again.
Wow,
We kind of went
congratulations.
through, thank you. Thank you. We kind of went through in silence the last 8 or 9 months, not saying a word, because the first time we mentioned it was all over the internet and this, and I didn't really like the attention, and neither did she. And so we've had a really rough time the last 7 or 8 months. And she came out 3 weeks ago, cancer free after surgery, and they went in twice and got it. And now we're going to Australia. And for us, we were saying this morning, it's going to be, a vacation, really, after the stress of the last, 6, 7, 8 months. I mean, she was on tour with me, with Coal Chamber and Mudvayne in the States in the summertime, worried about that daily, because we had to go through a certain process before we got her at the end, to surgery and everything else. So I said, if we're going to do meet and greets, let's launch something cool and let's give back to these kids, because there's nothing worse than cancer. And then if you're a kid, obviously there's nothing worse as a parent or as a child going through that. So I hope everybody gets a ticket, come out, say hello, and give back to the local kids that need it.
Yeah, I think that's really great, man. It's a really cool way of looking at it. Because there are people out there who sort of, they look at the meet and greet thing and go, "Oh, bands shouldn't be charging people to meet them. They should want to meet their fans." It's like, yes and no. A band still has to pay the bills. But I think doing it this way, you can't really argue with that at all. It's
Yeah.
such a positive thing, man. So,
I mean,
and
don't get me
again,
wrong. If you're walking around, or if I'm outside and we're walking around, or you catch me in the local whatever, getting peri sauce, whatever, what I'm saying? I mean, I'll sit and talk to you or whatever, it's just, it's a matter of like, when will we actually get that time? I come
exactly.
in a van, I go in the back, I do a sound check, I sit for an hour or so, I do the show, and literally before I'm dried off, I'm in a van and leaving. Like, they haven't even taken the gear off and I'm leaving. So when am I going to
Yeah,
meet anyone? And for me, and I like to meet people, I really do. And I just said, well, if we're going to do it, excuse me, let's do something positive and let people know that we want to give back,
yeah,
and
for
plus,
sure.
like I said, I'm a Freemason, and I think that's the crux of why I got into Freemasonry in the first place. I do a lot of charity work that I don't speak about, and how can I do more? What can I do for my community? And that's why I got into it. So to throw this out there, and the meet and greets are doing well right now. We'd love to see them doubled, because we'd love to put some money in these kids' hands and send them to camp. And maybe this is their last time out in the open with their friends or with their family. We don't know, right?
Yeah,
And so just try to do positive things in life. Karma is a huge thing with me.
man. Like, what I am getting from this chat so far is you really don't fucking sleep and you don't stop working.
Yeah, I'd have to get my mom on the phone, unfortunately, right now, because it was a real situation that was rough with me when I was younger. I'd go to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock. I mean, as a school kid, you're supposed to be in bed at 8 or 9 or what have
Yeah,
you, and I'd be up at 4 or 5 walking around. I'm just done. And that's just the way it is. I mean, I've been to doctors for it and stuff, and it's like, well, here, we can give you this to sleep. I'm like, no,
mm.
I'd rather not. Well, why don't you take this and nightly? I'm like, that's cool, man. So now I try to run it out of me. So before
Yeah.
bed, I like to do 3-4 miles on the treadmill, and come to bed and try to get some sleep. Try to get some
Jeez.
sleep.
Man, well, being fit never hurt anyone. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my shows are not suffering from it. I'll tell you that. I don't even get winded. I mean, in the summertime, it was 110 degrees out, and
damn.
and I was like, right there, let's go. And like I said, this band is firing on all cylinders, man. I talked to Meegs and Mike and Nadia, nightly, and just coming up with the set list with them and stuff has been a blast, man. And we've got some special stuff. We've got 2 songs we put together as a medley.
Oh,
Like, it's
nice.
just cool shit. Like, just,
Yeah.
and stuff we've always wanted to do. And like I said, it's going to be throttle to the,
You, yeah,
pedal
you
to the
mentioned,
metal, basically.
oh, it's cold chain, but you have to. But you mentioned earlier that you guys are getting along better than ever. Why do you think that is now? Do you think it just comes with maturity, a better understanding of what the job is, and a better understanding of each other, or a
It's a
bit both?
job. It's a
Yeah,
job, but it should be a love first. So if you love what you do, then the job doesn't seem like a job. So I think it's maturity, it's learning how to communicate,
yeah,
it's getting rid of, drugs or alcohol or what may play a part in bringing people apart, and trying to put it together for what it is. Look, do we love each other? Fuck yeah. I mean, I told Meegs, call me at fucking 4 in the morning. I'll be at your house with $500 and a shotgun. I won't even fucking ask why you need me. Like that's how I operate when it comes to friendships. And I think, do we love each other? Do we love the music? Is there a future here? Is the band wanted? Is it needed? Does it make sense? Is it over? Is it not over? All of those things are weighed. And it comes down to one thing. Yeah, I love you, man. I love you, man. And I love this music. And what, you
yeah.
never want to play Loco again? Like, fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I tell people all the time, that song is what gave me my gold records, what made me who I am. This band is what made me who I am. Sure, it's a shame we broke up, but we were always kind of the fucking underdog in the fucking scene. We were always the real deal Holyfield. We
mm,
party, we fist fight. I mean, it was, when the book comes out, there'll be a lot of stories that I don't think people, that people are willing or have heard, I should say.
yeah.
And,
Okay,
but you'd be willing
interesting.
to acknowledge it after that. So yeah, I think it's a matter of maturity,
Yeah,
and where are we at? And in my mind, it's time to make another record with Coal Chamber. It's time to tour. It's time to get it on. And so our agents and everybody, we've been circling the wagons, and when it makes sense, we're going to do all of those things, hopefully.
That was going to be my next question. Is the last one was like 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there is going to be another album. That's some exciting shit.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's not like the scoop right now. Like Dez Fafara says, there's another record. I just say like things come as time progresses, right? Are we going to do shows? Yeah. Do we have a good time? Yeah. Do you want to do more shows? Yeah. Are we on the phone laughing for an hour together? Yeah. Are the texts hilarious? Like I'm crying as we're all texting each other, dying laughing. Yeah. All right. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Do I get to rehearsal and the first 2 hours is spent,
just talking shit,
joking around and just being bullshit with each other and all that? Yeah, okay, that's what I fucking miss about this band. And especially Meigs and Mike, they're funny as fuck. They're the funniest fucking dudes ever. Like if you come to a meet and greet, just sit and talk to those dudes, man. They'll put a fucking smile on your face, and yeah, it's certainly killer. I mean, we're coming back over. This is the first time bringing Nadia, because we didn't have Nadia on the last one. She was busy at the time when we came over. And I think it was for Soundwave. Yeah, we came over for Soundwave. So it's going to be great to take her. She's so excited. And like I said, I'm flying out a couple days early just to get my grasp, get past that jet lag feeling, have a couple of dinners with AJ.
Yeah, so you guys should be flying in a few days or so, I guess.
Yeah, we leave on the 10th. We land on the 12th. So if you want to be at the airport and say hello, come on down. I'm good.
Yeah,
you can bypass the meet and greet at that point if they'll let you.
Well, I will tell you, man, bring some shorts and bring your tank top or whatever you guys call it, your singlet, because it's been fucking sweltering here lately. It's been absolutely humid as balls, and hopefully you get yourself a few days to enjoy the beach and chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, I think we end in Perth, and I hope to surf. I hope to get at least 2 surf sessions in. I mean, I grew up on a board, I mean, my mom put me on a board at age 5 and said, go, So I hope to rent a board or have friends of mine that got boards out there. Yeah. Last time I was in Perth, I surfed, and it was pretty big. And then watching the wave runners go back and forth, right? One guy kind of cruised up to me and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, where are you from? Like he heard my accent.
Yeah.
And I'm from Cali. I'm like, what are you guys doing? He's like, oh, we're out here patrolling for sharks.
Yeah, pretty shark infested over in WA.
Yeah. But I grew up surfing in a place called San Onofre in San Clemente, California. And it's a great white nursery.
Oh, wow.
So I've had plenty of mornings on my own with me and 2 of my friends out there at the crack of dawn, and
just see that fin,
see something, or but got lucky. So I hope that stays good. But I hope to jump in the water, man. I hope to have great shows, jump in the water, see some friends, and then make a plan to when we're going to return. And coming over with Mudvayne's a good time too. We had a great time with this summer. We had a great time with them and their crew. That was fantastic. So
because they haven't been back for years either, and like them getting back together again, like same as you guys, was big news. Like people from the early days of the nu metal scene were, I think that's such a cool thing that like I said earlier, that people are eating it up and like, fuck yeah, we haven't seen these bands for ages, this is sick, we're going to get the chance to. Be a lot of people that would have discovered you guys well after you started and disbanded.
Yeah. I said in an interview the other day, I said, it's either people who are in their late 30s and 40s bringing their kid, or it's kids. Like our meet and greets in the summer were insane. It's like all 20-year-olds, like dressed in Janko pants and pierced up. And I'm like, where does this come from? It's like, oh, my older brother, oh, my dad, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, my older cousin, I inherited these records, or what have you, and it was really stunning to me. The first couple of meet and greets we had in the summer, where it's like, so I think everything is cyclical. Music is cyclical. Fashion is cyclical. I was raised with my 4 sisters. I remember my mom all the time saying, don't throw away those boots, or don't throw, like it's going to come back around. Right. And I think that's the same thing. That's the same thing with music. So it's real cool. It's real cool. And a lot of people are surely interested in what Cold Chamber is doing right now. And I am too, man. I'm ready.
you know, if you guys do, you know, drop new music and videos as well, it's a completely different time. You know, like it's a completely different approach to music promotion and media and stuff from even the last album. You know, like when the last album came out, reaction channels didn't exist. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And now
Yeah.
there's such an avenue for bands to reach new people, and thousands of them at any given video.
Yeah.
Is that something that excites you? Is that you've got new avenues to look at to promote your music?
Yeah, this seems like a conversation I keep having with everybody that I do interviews with, right? You know, how has streaming affected you? What do you think about it? You come from the 90s before computers, you know what I mean? It's like I embrace it all as much as I can. Um, Much to the chagrin of my manager and my label, I want to get off Instagram. I deleted my Twitter. Um, and who knows, maybe personally I will, and just keep my band's accounts and stuff up, because it at a certain point you want to have some kind of anonymity, right?
Yeah.
Uh, right. And,
Yeah.
and so, but I found that it works well, especially with the generation that's coming up now. It's like they want to see you, they want to see me talk right now, they want to see you know, maybe where I'm at, or what I'm doing today
Yeah.
during the interview. And you know, and this is a great way to get it across, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why we started as a reaction videos channel, and then we moved into this. And you know, we still love checking out all the new bands and promoting bands, but we
Yeah.
love doing this sort of stuff, man, because as a fan of heavy music, especially coming from that, you know, that late 80s, early 90s era myself, you had MTV and things like that. But other than
Yeah.
those things, there wasn't really any conduit between artist and fan that could really connect. It's like that you want to know, like, I want to know. That's our approach to chatting, is I want to know the shit I want to know. I
Yeah.
don't want to sit here and say, where did the name come from? And, you know, what's your favorite track that you've ever written, and all this sort of stuff. You know,
You won't
that's
believe how much I get that. So thank you.
well,
I
on that
appreciate
then,
I
well, on that
appreciate
then,
that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you the last little bit of this, because I know you got to get going and do more stuff. Is I'm gonna give you some would you rather's that we like to do on this channel, and there's
Would
some
you,
pretty
what's what they're called? Would you rathers?
would you rather's. Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it. I love it. Let's
yeah.
go.
All right. So first off, would you rather wake up to, now you've got to wake up to one of these songs every single morning for the rest of your life as your alarm, you know, tone. Okay. The thing that might be hard for you is you have to lay in bed and listen to the entire track before you get out and start your day. Nickelback Photograph or Creed with Arms Wide Open. What one are you choosing and why?
Fuck. Uh, I don't like Creed or anything it stands for, so I'll go with Nickelback. I mean, I think the guy is an incredible fucking writer. You can't take it away from him. You can hate the band, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but you can't take away the fact the guy is a fucking genius songwriter. You
Man,
can't take it away, right? I remember walking to the front of my bus one day and somebody had Nickelback on, and I wasn't familiar, and I said, "Fuck, what song?" It was the Rockstar song,
oh yeah.
right? You're a rock star, whatever, right? And I was like, what the fuck is this, right? And they're like, it's Nickelback. It's like, fuck, that's well written. Like that hook is fucking. I'll go with Nickelback.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I feel like the Nickelback hate has, you know, like everything's, you know, goes full circle, and they started off, you know, big, then they got hated, and now everyone's back to that point where they're like, no, this shit's actually good. So,
There's an artist, and I'll leave his name out of it because he's rather huge and he's a good friend of mine. And he says, you know, Dez, the good thing is you've never really been hated. And I said, well, what does that mean? It's like, you have to be hated to be loved. To be huge in this industry, you have to be hated. And I said, well, I had my time when I left Cold Chamber or this or that. You know, it's like, no, bro. You probably, and they asked me, he's like, how many people have you blocked on your Instagram in the last 10 years? I said, like 8. He's like, ha. He's like, I've got 800. So yeah, I think, you know, I think that just goes hand in hand. I think I'll go with Nickelback, you know.
oh yeah. All right. Next one. You have to be a character in either the Star Wars universe
Oh,
or the Marvel universe. What are you going to
Star
choose and
Wars.
who?
Star Wars all day long.
What character?
I'm not a Marvel, I'm not a fuck, not a fucking superhero guy.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never was. I was never like, oh, I'm Superman, I'm Spider-Man. I'm one of my best friends on my TM, my sound guy, is the most incredible, like, lover of Spider-Man. He has like every fucking statue in the box. It's insane to see,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
It's cool, right? I was just never a superhero guy ever.
So
So I'll go with Star Wars. I mean, I
who would
watched
you
The
play?
Mandalorian this morning. I had The Mandalorian going in my studio while I was fucking singing. So
Yeah. And what character would you be?
Mandalorian would be the best.
Yeah. He's pretty fucking
Yeah,
cool.
Han Solo would be another second best.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Now,
like I like Boba Fett too. I mean, don't even get me started. I could go on forever. Like I got to sit. My wife's favorite movie is Grease, so I got to sit through Grease in order for me to put on Star Wars. So and she'll be, oh, that's how it is. Like she'll wonder why we're watching Grease right now. I go, cause motherfucker, in about an hour and a half, we're going Star Wars. So
Oh man.
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna leave you with one more. Okay. Now this is the hard one. This is the one that divides the channel and divides a lot of bands. You gotta go on stage, headline set, right? You're playing the longest set you've ever played. Before you go on stage, you have to put on either cold wet socks or cold wet underwear to do the entire set. What do you choose and why?
It.
Oh yeah, we don't fuck around.
Both are fucking detrimental on stage. Like fucking soaking socks and shoes, you'd be slipping all over the place. Soaking underwear, probably women watching this channel, so you don't want to talk about rash. So I don't know, man. I'd rather have my boys in place than my feet. So I'll go with the socks.
Hell yeah. Team
I'll go with
socks.
the socks.
I'm team.
Plus I got guys on the side of the stage. I could be like, get me socks. And
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Much easier to do that, like on the slice, put some socks on
yeah,
and some underwear. See, I'm team
no,
underwear because I can't stand wet feet, man. Like I just kills me.
yeah,
Kills me. Anyway,
yeah.
dude, thanks so much for your time. We're so stoked that you're coming back to Australia. And
So excited.
what a fucking lineup as well.
Thank you.
It's
So
gonna be
excited. I
cool.
want everybody check out the meet and greets. We really want you to come give back to these kids. Hope to see you guys. Be loud, be cheering, get in the pit, have a great time with Coal Chamber. We're not one of those bands where you just stand there and watch us. Like we're one of those bands where like you are part of it. Let's get it on.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you so much, man. See you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, brother.
Peace, brother. Have a good one.
Take care, bro.